Okay, this is part 19, Your Amazing Destiny. King Jesus is coming. Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm Jim McCotter. In Romans 11 through 12, quote, I say then, they did not stumble so as to fall, did they? May it never be. But by their transgression, salvation has come to the Gentiles to make them jealous. Now, if their transgression is riches for the world and their failure is riches for the Gentiles, how much more will their fulfillment be? End quote. Israel has stumbled, but Israel has not fallen irretrievably. The Greek word for stumble is not as irrecoverable as to fall. And regarding Israel as a nation never recovering and coming back to God, God says, quote, may it never be, end quote. The Greek word here is especially strong. May it absolutely, categorically never be. God is saying, for sure, Israel as a nation is going to turn back to God and glorify Him again in the world. But for now, quote, by their transgression, salvation has come to the Gentiles, end quote. That is good news for the rest of the Gentile world. But realize in God's sovereignty, His purpose for the gospel to go out to the pagan Gentiles is not just for their salvation, but also to provoke the nation of Israel to be, quote, jealous and turn back to God. The actual emphasis in this verse is not so much that the gospel is now going out to the Gentiles, as it is that God is using that to make Israel jealous and turn back to Himself. In the next verse, this thought is even much more pronounced. Verse 12. Now, if Israel's transgression is riches for the world, and Israel's failure is riches for the Gentiles, how much more will Israel's fulfillment be? End quote. Israel's transgression has truly brought rich blessing to the Gentile world. This has resulted in salvation to billions of Gentiles over the centuries. It has also brought rich blessings of enormous prosperity, especially to the Western nations of the world, where a larger percentage of their populations in the past have embraced Christianity and God's moral law. And especially since the 15th century, the Christianized Western civilization has blessed the rest of the world. The Greek word riches literally means external wealth and abundance. But this is not the same as greed, which is sin. Wealth and prosperity is not the same as greed or the love of money. Money and even having a lot of money is not sin, but living for riches and the love of money is sin. The Apostle Paul instructed Timothy to teach this to all those Christians who are rich. 1 Timothy 6:17 through 19, quote, teach those who are rich in this world not to be proud, not to trust in their money, which is so unreliable. Their trust should be in God, who richly gives us all we need for our enjoyment. Tell them to use their money to do good. They should be rich in good works and generous to those in need, always being ready to share with others. By doing this, they will be storing up their treasure as a good foundation for the future so that they may experience true life. End quote. Spiritual and physical prosperity are both a blessing from God. The devil, through men like godless Karl Marx and socialists today, have equated capitalism and riches with greed, but that is not the same. Rich or poor can be greedy. 1 Timothy 4:8 says, quote, but godliness is profitable for all things, since it holds promise for the present life and also for the life to come, end quote. Socialism is antithetical to God and His law. Government socialism steals from those who work hard to give to those who do not. It is like what Jesus said about the devil in John 10:10, quote, the devil comes only to steal and kill and destroy, but I come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. End quote. Early Christian-dominated nations in Europe and especially America from its founding have demonstrated great blessings to the world. Nations with a critical mass of Christians, especially in government, have had the greatest blessings for themselves and the world. What is Paul revealing when he says, quote, "If Israel's failure is riches for the Gentiles, how much more will their fulfillment be?" End quote. Paul is saying, if you think Gentile nations, as America or other Gentile nations, have seen riches during this time of Israel's failure to recognize Jesus as their Messiah, wait until you see how rich the whole world will become when Israel embraces Messiah, King Jesus, to rule Israel and the world from Jerusalem. Wait until Scripture is fulfilled, when the world will see King Jesus physically descend on the Mount of Olives to save Israel and set up his earthly world rule from Jerusalem. I wish I had time here now to elaborate on this, but it will blow your mind. Israel's fulfillment is coming, and King Jesus is coming.